What's going on, people? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video now. As always, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you now. The least surprising result of last night, well, probably if you're going to count the Mayweather fight, then yeah, I guess you could say that. But the least result in the least surprising fight of last night was this one right here, man. I think everybody and their dog knew that this was a gross mismatch, and that is what it turned out to be. Uh, David Benavidez battering David Lemieux, three one-sided rounds, could have been stopped in the first round, and David Benavidez rolls on. There's not really much to say. It was just a beatdown from Benavidez to Lemieux. We all knew going into this fight that it was going to turn out this way because David Lemieux is the naturally smaller man. He looked it in the ring. He doesn't have much to his game other than his power, but he's the smaller man. And he looked really small in there compared to David Benavidez. And, you're going up there against somebody that can do everything better than you at this stage of his career. Benavidez is taller. He punches harder. He's more active. He's got more skills to him. Lemieux is really just, without being disrespectful, he's more of a one-trick pony, and he's coming out of his prime, and he's the smaller man. So this really was just, the writing was on the wall as soon as this fight had been made. It was really just a run out for David Benavidez, man. And he did what he had to do. Do you know what I mean? You go in there, you beat who's put in front of you, and you move on. So that was what I expected of him, and that is what he did. Really pounded Lemieux, man. It could have been stopped in the first round, saved by the bell, really. He wasn't even firing back, getting all these shots thrown at him on the ropes, nearly touchdown. Second round, he did touchdown. Third round, they just had enough in the corner, stopped the fight. And Benavidez, of course, wants that Canelo showdown. He's been screaming for it. Canelo, it's looking like that he may fight Triple G in a third fight, or he could take on Bivol next. So I doubt that Benavidez will be in line to fight Canelo next. But until then, he's just got to carry on. Do you know what I mean? The super middleweight division, there are names in there. You've got Caleb Plant in there. You've got Demetrius Andrade moving up there. You've got Charlo that could potentially be moving up there. So there are names for Benavidez to keep himself active, and it's important that he does so, while he waits for this Canelo showdown, because just getting rid of the guys and being impressive the calls are going to get louder for that fight against Canelo. It's important that he can't waste all of his time and energy into a Canelo fight. But to be fair to him, I don't think he is. I think he wants to smoke with all of these other guys, man. I'm not sure about the Andrade situation, but definitely Charlo and Caleb Plant. Benavidez has said that he wants to smoke with them. So eventually Canelo's going to have to make a decision what he's going to do with the belts. He can't keep them all for too long. He can't hold them hostage for too long. But you never know with these sanctioning bodies. They really up Canelo. So they will probably give him time to do what he wants. But Benavidez just needs to put himself in position to challenge for one of those belts. I believe that he is in a good position with the WBC anyway. But he really is, for me, the next in line at super middleweight after Canelo. He is the one that people want to see take on Canelo at that weight. I would much rather see David Benavidez against Canelo rather than a Triple G fight. But, there are people out there that will say that the Triple G fight is going to be a bigger fight in terms of, the money. Triple G is a bigger name than Benavidez. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of the actual fight itself, and at this stage, Benavidez is more competitive with Canelo at this stage than Triple G is. Triple G is 39. No, he's 40. Sorry, he's 40 years old. He's out of his prime. And he ain't even boxed at super middleweight before. So, yeah, I'd much rather see that. But there are other fights for us to be entertained with David Benavidez while he waits for that showdown, man. But yeah, as for this fight here, there's not really much to report, man. We all knew what was going to happen. David Lemieux, grossly out of his prime, the naturally smaller man, doesn't have much to his game. He was never going to box and move. He relies on his power. And when you're going up against a bigger guy who's got more power and he's younger and he's fresher, then it's always going to be an uphill battle for sure. So I'm not sure where Benavidez goes from here. I haven't seen any of the post-fight interviews or anything like that. Maybe David Lemieux might have to think about calling it a day, if I'm being honest, man, because that was a bit of a beatdown. He was never in it. And where does he really go from here, man? Super middleweight, you're going to be going up against guys that are a lot bigger than you and punch harder as well. So at this stage, is it really worth it? And I don't know how old he is in age as well, Lemieux. But he's no spring chicken. I know that. So let me know your thoughts about it anyway, guys, man. David Benavidez, would you like to see him in with Canelo next? There are options out there for Canelo, of course. He does have Bivol rematch. He does have the Triple G third fight. But Benavidez is right there, and all he can do is just keep on winning like this and increase the calls for that fight to happen. Eventually, if enough people call for it, Canelo will pay attention, and then maybe that will be something that they look at. So he ain't short of options, and to be fair, nor is Benavidez. So hopefully those fights won't be difficult for him to make at his own division, and maybe we might get to see them happen. I'd like to see the Caleb Plant fight. That's a bit of a grudge match there. Them two have been going at it before on social media, so why not have that? Why not have the Charlo fight? You know, there are other fights to keep him going while he does wait for that Canelo showdown. But let me know your thoughts about it anyway in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.